Yo, yo. Let's have a look. Background. No. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Yeah, thanks for joining us. We've got a bit of time today to get through some more debates, more discussions, and let's focus on exposing the irrationality today if we can. So let's get some good debates going, some good logic. Brother, do you think we could gas the whole world? I don't know, but gas could be used for extinction, right? It seems like an effective method, right? Okay, let's see. We've already got a couple people in the queue. Let's not delay. Let's get started. Hello, how's it going?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
So I think pro-extinction is a good idea, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's rather the question, do you think life has more good or bad in it? And if it's bad, you should support extinction. If not, then you support life, right?
Yeah, it's not
So
about there
sometimes I
being
wonder and I
it's not about more
quite
good than bad. It's about there's infinite possibility for bad. So life shouldn't exist in those conditions. So it's not like we should be looking out for if there's more good or more bad. It's just that life simply shouldn't exist in unsafe conditions. Keeps it simple.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome and perspective. I haven't quite thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, as animals evolved on Earth, they were never able to think about the fact that life shouldn't actually exist. And it's only now that we've got big brains that we can actually, have a look and say, okay, actually, this shouldn't exist.
Yeah, okay. I'm in support of your ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give you a follow, and you should join our Discord. The link is on my profile on TikTok. So join our community. We've got a WhatsApp group as well, and you can become an activist, make videos, educate people on why suffering is not acceptable. And we do have a solution, and we do have to grow the movement to make that solution possible. So that is basically the solution. So extinctionism is about having a zero tolerance policy on suffering, which most people simply don't have, right? Most people are fine with exploiting animals, fine with exploiting humans. They're fine with, terrible parents having children, psychopaths having children. People are actually fine with that, which is, the problem essentially. People have the lowest respect for life, the lowest conditions for life. Hello, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Right, I was just wondering, do you reckon we could have a pro-extinction revolution?
That's kind of the plan, yeah.
That's the plan, yeah, okay. And I've got one question.
Sure.
What is your favourite period in history?
Before life existed.
Before life existed. Good answer. Okay, thank you.
All right, cheers. All right. Okay, we've got Bora in the queue. Let's bring up Ora Bora. What method do you want to use for extinction science? Bora, hello, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, I'm doing good. What about you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Do you have any questions for us? Seems like there's a bit of a lag. Bora, are you still with us? Okay, Bora, we're losing you. We're losing you. The signal is fading. All right, he's done. He's finished. Okay, let's take some questions and comments from the chat while we wait for people to join the queue. Do you want only humans or all life on Earth? So it's not just humans, it's not just life on Earth, it's as much life as possible, which can be beyond Earth. So potentially the entire universe or beyond. It's essentially just doing as much as we can do. So we have to find the limits of what we can do, and nobody can realistically claim what is, the limit of what's possible just yet. So we need to explore those limits fully, like the speed of light, for example. Is that truly the limit? And we need to explore the limits of preventing life developing in the universe. So that's going to take some really interesting technology. And, we might start out with some basic designs, and they get more and more advanced, and then they just keep getting more advanced over time. And, the world gets safer and safer, basically. That would be ideal. If we prove it to be infinite, how far would you plan to go? Well, when you consider that we might be able to just leave it to robots and AI, then there's no point limiting it or rushing it, right? There's no point being impatient in that sense. So people are very impatient with extinction. We need to have urgency to make it happen, but enough patience to do it properly in the most vast and thorough way possible, which means that we should be willing to use humanity to let them suffer so that they can prevent greater evil. And people, often argue against that. They disagree with the idea of reproducing, bringing new humans into the world specifically to use them for a purpose. And the thing is, if it's the lesser of two evils, then it's the better thing to do, right? And people who essentially disagree with, implementing the lesser of two evils, usually it's because of discrimination, right? That they're essentially discriminating against the group who's going to suffer more. So if we're going with the lesser of two evils, it might look ugly and it might cause some suffering, but it's still going to be the lesser of two evils. The greater of two evils involves a lot more suffering with more victims, much worse. And so it's a shame that people discriminate against essentially the larger portion of victims. And so they would choose to help a smaller group of victims out of discrimination. So we should be trying to help as many victims as possible, to provide as much safety as possible, not to be selfish with it, right? Not to be greedy with it and say, no, I can't be bothered to give you safety, so I'm just going to have it for myself. That's not fair. And it is discrimination, essentially. Okay, we've got somebody coming on. Hello, how you doing?
This is a very dumb movement. I don't know how anyone could possibly agree with this. I don't think there's any sense made in this whatsoever.
Lots of people agree with it.
Hmm?
Lots of people agree with it.
I don't think they do.
Lots of people agree with having a suffering-free world, like a cruelty-free world,
Oh, yeah, but why is suffering bad? What if suffering isn't
Why is
actually
suffering
bad?
bad? Did you
Yeah,
say?
because the whole point of this, right, is you
Why is
make it
suffering
sound like
bad?
suffering is bad, and if anyone disagrees with that, you basically just say they're wrong. So why
So
is suffering actually...
you don't think suffering's bad?
I don't think suffering is bad, no.
So if someone makes you suffer, you don't mind?
No, not
So
really.
if someone broke your legs, you wouldn't mind?
Because the whole point of these debates is that no one can disagree with the fact that suffering is bad.
Well, I'm
and
just
then
asking you a
ultimate-
question. So you're saying suffering isn't bad, right? And so I said if someone makes you suffer, you wouldn't mind. You said, yeah, you wouldn't mind. So if someone broke your legs, you just wouldn't care.
No, I would care, but I don't think that's something I
Why?
need to worry about because that's not happened and it's
Why-
not going to happen.
Okay, but why would you care? You said that suffering isn't bad. So what would there be to care about?
Because why do I have to worry about suffering 24/7 when it doesn't happen 24/7? Why are we trying
Yeah,
to...
but in this hypothetical, right, to understand your views, okay, you've said that you wouldn't mind if someone made you suffer. So we're just trying to see if that's really true. So if someone broke your legs, would you mind or would you not mind?
Yes, I would mind, but would you mind not suffering?
So do you not
If-
see
if,
how
if someone gave
that
you £1 million,
contradicts what
would
you
you...
said?
If someone gave you £1 million, would you call that suffering?
So breaking your legs is not the same as getting £1 million.
No, they're complete opposites.
You seem to be quite confused.
No, I'm not confused. I'm saying, why
Yes.
would you...
Getting £1 million isn't suffering, right?
Exactly, exactly.
you seem
Why
to
are
be
you
struggling to
focused
understand.
on the bad stuff, on the negatives, when there are so many
Because
positives?
that's the responsible thing to do.
It says you and the 50 people that agree with you.
So
And
do you
no one
think
else.
it's more responsible to not provide safety and to not focus on
You call extinction
Doesn't it?
safety. Do you realize how ridiculous that is?
Well, think about it. Is it really safety for life to exist in unsafe conditions? No.
Yes.
So,
Life has zero meaning, so why do we have
do
to
you think
worry?
life is safer existing in unsafe conditions?
I can't prove that life is a real thing. I can't prove anything.
It
So
seems
why
like you're
should we-
dodging the questions quite a lot.
Okay, so go on. Give me the question. Then, what is the question? Do you want me to answer?
So, do you think life is safe in unsafe conditions?
That doesn't make any sense. Life isn't a safe thing, is it? It's just
You're saying that life is safe here, right? When
life is
on
never
screen.
safe, but that doesn't mean that we should just end it.
Yeah. So it would be safer to not exist, essentially.
But do you think that anyone would actually want to go extinct other than the 50 people in this stream?
So you really don't think that there's millions of people around the world who don't want to be alive? You don't? You think it's only like 50 people in the world who wish they who don't think life is a good
I'm
thing?
not saying that. I'm saying that I don't
What you
think.
just said. That's what you just said. You just said
I'm
that
saying I
only
don't think
50
that.
people.
I can't believe that you come on here every single day. And
Did you see how
actually try
everything
and-
you say just doesn't make any sense? And as soon as we point it out, you just change subject.
No, I'm saying I don't understand how you can come on here every day and try and convince everyone that we shouldn't exist.
Well, you do it just by setting up your phone, clicking a few
Like,
buttons.
but do you not think that you could be doing something better with your time?
Well, the thing is,
Like
is that
trying to achieve something achievable, because this isn't achievable. I can tell you that right now.
why is it not achievable?
It's never going to happen. You're never going
Why
to.
not? Why not? That's
You're
not
never
argument.
going to cause total extinction.
No logic detected.
How?
No logic detected, right? You're
In
not
your
explaining.
lifetime, do you think that you could cause total extinction?
It doesn't have to be in our lifetime, but potentially, yeah.
So why would you spend your life trying to advocate for something you're not going to be around for? Why would you?
So you would only you discriminate against people in the future, basically.
No, I'm saying, why would you spend your life trying to achieve something that you're not going to be here for?
Well, why would I have to be here to see? So you would only care about something if you get to see the results, essentially. So if you don't get to see the results, then even if it's the right thing, you wouldn't do it.
If that's what you think, then yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you're trying to.
So, it sounds like your character has a lot of flaws here, essentially, right? You're essentially appealing to selfishness, to short-sightedness, as if it's a good thing. But actually, all of these things that you're suggesting are bad things.
Yeah, I think it's selfish to try and tell everyone that we should all just go extinct. I think it's selfish to decide that we all shouldn't be here because you and a couple other people think that that's the right. Last time we spoke, that you said that.
So why is that selfish?
Because majority of people don't want to go extinct. If you look at the charts, majority of people.
So it's selfish because it goes against the majority.
It's selfish because it's such a small amount of people who believe in this.
So if a small number of people believe in it, then it's automatically wrong.
Okay, the reason it's selfish is because the last time we
Is that what you're
spoke,
saying?
you told me that you would cause total
Critics, you're
extinction
changing
across the whole
subject again.
universe.
I just want to clarify before you change subject again, right? So are you saying that? Well, you are saying, right, that if only a small number of people support something, then it's automatically wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's selfish because if
So
you
so if only a small number of people support something, it's selfish. How does that work?
if you're trying to change a small thing, then maybe not. But if you're trying to end all life, that is selfish.
Why?
Because it's disturbing what other people people want to live. People like living. People like existing.
But not everyone does, though. So you see,
No, not everyone. So for those people,
we're doing it for those who need it, essentially.
You do realize there is an exit, right? You don't have to be here, but so you're trying to say that everyone should be. Everyone should go.
For
extinct.
for example, when a child is being abused, do you think they should have access to suicide?
Is that not what you're suggesting?
No.
You're suggesting it in a different
No,
way.
we are not suggesting that we have torture chambers for children continue on for billions of years, and the only change we make is that they now have a noose in case they can't take the abuse anymore. We would say let's just prevent all of that from happening.
But there is an exit. There is always an exit.
So your solution is to have a noose for the children in the torture chambers, so that they can have an exit if they can't endure the abuse anymore.
I'm saying, like, listen. The last time we spoke, you told me that
Well,
you
you're
would cause
dodging the
total.
question again. So look, we're not getting very far here because you just change the subject and dodge every single question that I'm asking.
What torture chamber are you talking about?
Well, there's lots of torture chambers in the world with
Right.
children. With children.
There is an exit to life. If you don't
So
want to be
again,
here,
so your solution to children being in a torture chamber is let them do self-harm.
well, I don't really see another option. So yeah, if you're twisting my
you
words.
you think that the child abusers are going to have the kindness in their heart to let the child commit suicide?
You know what? If there's 1% of negativity in the world, let it happen. Honestly, just let it happen because you can't just end all
2%
life.
too much. How much is too much? 2%?
No, I don't think it. Honestly, you're just twisting my words because when I say
I'm
yeah,
asking
you're
you
just
a
going to call
question.
me a bad
I'm
person.
not twisting your words. I'm asking you a question.
Too much is 50%. Too much is 50%.
So 51% of the population can torture 49%, and that's okay.
But that wouldn't happen.
But if it does, it's okay.
Then yes, practically that's okay. But it wouldn't happen. So you haven't got to worry about that.
But right now we are basically torturing the majority of the population. So
No,
it
we're
is
not.
happening.
No, we're not.
Well, it is if you think about it, right? Humanity is only 8 billion on the planet, whereas animals run into trillions and trillions and trillions, right? And so with farmed animals, we exploit and kill and eat about 4 trillion a year. And then 99% of animals born into nature get eaten alive as babies. So it's not 51% against 49%. It's more like 0.001%.
Those animals that get eaten as babies get exactly what you're saying. They don't have to be here anymore. So why do they have to worry about that?
Well, they still don't benefit. You know, basically, you're saying that if you saw a human baby get eaten alive, you wouldn't care.
Well, there's nothing I can do about it.
So you would think, oh, it doesn't matter that happened. It's neutral.
But what you're saying is that anyone who doesn't agree with
Phoenix, you're
total
just dodging
extinction-
every single question.
Go on.
So you think that a human
You're trying
baby...
to trick me into saying something that you're going to use against me.
I'm asking you questions based on what you're saying. So I'm engaging with what you're saying, essentially. So, I want to get your opinions on this. So you are saying that if a human baby gets eaten alive, it's not actually a bad thing. It's neutral.
I have never said anything about a human baby. I have never.
You did say that when babies get eaten alive, it ends their suffering, so it's okay, right?
I have never once in this
That's what you
conversation
said,
mentioned a baby.
like 60 seconds ago.
I've never mentioned any baby. I said
you did, okay? Because
you're trying to twist my words to make me say something that I'm going to regret saying.
Your words, I'm recounting your words. So we said 99% of animals get eaten alive as babies, right? And you said, well, that's okay then, because it ends their suffering. Do you not remember saying that?
Does it not?
Yeah, but the point is that they still suffer, right? So is that okay?
No, it's not okay. But that doesn't mean that we should end everything.
It sounds like you're saying it is okay because it ends their suffering.
This is the problem. That you're twisting. You're making me answer something, and then you're twisting the answer to sound like what you want to hear.
It ends their suffering.
Why did I what?
So why did you say, yeah, but it ends their suffering? Isn't that a good thing? So you didn't care about the suffering that they actually do experience, right?
I do, but there's nothing I can realistically do to stop that.
Well, extinction stops it.
But it's already happened, so it doesn't stop it, because you're talking about something that's already happened in the past.
You do realise it's going to keep happening, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And extinction, you could have caused this for a long time.
Understand that basic concept, okay? So
it is impossible to cause total extinction when there are other universes and other planets out there. You couldn't do anything on those because they're too far away to even.
Why does that mean we can't do Earth?
Because the reason it is selfish is because there are people like me and so many other people who.
So you're dodging the question. You're changing subject again.
I've answered the question.
So no, we would talk. No, you haven't. So you're saying that it's pointless if we can't do universe-wide extinction, right? So why would that make it pointless, right? We can still do.
Because the definition of total extinction is extinction across the universe.
Yeah,
that's not
it does. It's just the best extinction we can do. So obviously it wouldn't be pointless to reduce or end suffering on Earth. Just because we can't.
Okay, can you tell me why you couldn't define suffering as a bad thing? Tell me why it's a bad thing then.
Because it's obviously a bad thing, right? It's the only bad thing, right? It's negative experiences, right? And those are bad for you. So, like, being tortured, that's a bad thing. Now, you said you wouldn't mind if someone broke your legs,
I
but
didn't. I said the complete opposite.
well, you did say you wouldn't mind if someone made you suffer. Okay, so that's a bit arrogant to say that, a bit naive, really, right? If someone's torturing you and making you suffer, you probably would mind, right? Because it's a bad thing. It's the worst thing that can happen, right? Right?
There are other ways to go about it. So we
Like
shouldn't.
what? Like what? You said that there was nothing that we could do except for extinction.
Right. So you're saying that it's a bad thing. So you're saying you're going with the most extreme option of changing. There's nothing you can do to change it except this. So why should we let it bother us so much when majority of us
Why
are
should
fine?
we? So why should we care about those who are suffering? Is what you're asking.
That's not what I said. See, this is what I mean.
You said
you're
why should we let it?
twisting-
Why should we let the suffering bother us? Is what you said. So yeah, that is what you're asking, right? Why should we care about them?
Because if it's not us that are being, well, it's not us that are suffering, why should we worry about stopping it? Is what I'm saying.
Because it's the right thing to do. It's to care about others, right? It's
But-
fair.
How can you say it's caring about others when you're putting a stop to other people's life who do want to live?
Because it's caring about what actually matters, which is safety from extreme suffering.
Okay, to the guy who just said I'm cleaning, suffering is like cleaning dishes, that's ridiculous. I'm not suggesting that at all. That's completely ridiculous. So you're all twisting my words, is what you're doing.
Really, I don't think I've twisted any of your words.
Because you tell me to answer the question, I answer the question, and then you ultimately
You
bring it back
never
to
answer the
I'm
question.
agreeing with
You never
something.
answer
I'm
the
not.
question. You never answer the questions. I can give you an example right now.
Go on.
So, what did you mean when you said that if we can't do universe-wide extinction, it's not worth doing Earth extinction? Because when I asked you that, you immediately dodged the question and changed subject.
It's not
You
worth
said
it
it's selfish.
because you're talking about doing total extinction to end suffering forever. That wouldn't end suffering, that would only end the suffering here.
And so why would it not be good to end the suffering here if that?
Because you're not achieving your goal. You're achieving 1% of the goal, and it wouldn't do anything.
So when you say it wouldn't do anything,
Okay, here's an example.
Do you not see how that's completely wrong?
If you're doing 1%, if you're 1% of extincting Earth, and that counts towards your goal, why don't you just go kill an ant? Does that not contribute to total extinction?
no, it would just get replaced.
Exactly, and so would Earth, because as long as the universe exists, life can exist again.
So
once
you
we
think
go
it's
extinct,
better? So you think it makes more sense to allow Earth to suffer just because there are other planets out there?
well, do you think it's okay to leave ants to suffer? Because if you don't go and kill
Do
that,
you
ant,
have a
it'll just go and
mentality
suffer.
of if we can't help everyone, we shouldn't help anyone?
Which is what you just said.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Because if Earth goes extinct, there will just be another one.
That's what
and
you're
it will
saying.
just-
That's the opposite of what I'm saying. You're saying if we can't help everyone, we shouldn't bother helping anyone, which is just ridiculous,
But
right?
you can help the ants, can't you?
that's
You
like
could
the
kill-
most
You can kill them.
That's like the most irresponsible position you could have, essentially.
How is it?
You're saying we shouldn't help anyone.
I'm saying that you could go and help an ant right now if you wanted to, but you wouldn't.
Well, we are helping future ants by working towards ending all suffering.
But
for
what
them.
about the current ants? Do you not care about those?
The thing is that we can't help those ants right now, right? So we can
You
actually
can go and kill them. You can easily go and do that, and that would
again,
they
they'll
would
just
stop
get
suffering.
they'll just get replaced. Whereas
And
we,
so will Earth. If Earth goes extinct, Earth will also
so
go
so
extinct.
you would do extinction in a really just unthought out way, like in just a chaotic way. You wouldn't do it in an
Yes,
organized.
because
or
there
in
is no way to do it any other way.
So you would do it in like the worst way possible, basically. Yeah.
There's no other way to do it. There is no way to.
Why?
Because there's no practical way to kill
Why?
everyone.
Why not?
Well, can you give me one example of a way that
Well,
would be?
we can try and find a way to do it.
That's not answering the question at all. Trying to find a way isn't answering the question, is it?
But so if someone wants to cure cancer, how are they going to do it? Are they going to A, try and find a way, or B, tell you what the cure is before they found it?
But we do have a way now, which you
But
don't like.
what, you have a cure for cancer? What is it?
No, not cancer. We have a way to end suffering of ants, but you wouldn't want to do that.
How?
By going outside right now and killing them. That is
But
the only way.
Does
we
that
can
help
do it.
all of them, or does it just help a few of them?
So that's what you just said to me, isn't it? If we can't help all of them, why help some? And that's what you've just said.
No,
Why-
no,
why-
that's the opposite of what I'm saying. You're saying we shouldn't help any, right? So I'm saying we should help all of them, and make sure that we prevent billions of years of suffering. You're saying
Like,
that we
whoever is
should-
watching
you're
this
saying
right
we
now,
should-
can
you're
as
saying
many
we
of
should-
you just tell me if you would want to go extinct? As many of you, can you just?
So you're dodging the question again.
No,
You're
I just want these people to
you're
tell me
changing
if they
subject
agree with you.
again. You're changing subject again.
I want
You've
these
done that.
people to tell me if they agree
You've
with you.
literally changed subject about 100 times in this conversation.
I just want these people in this chat to tell me
Basically,
if they
every
agree
single
with you.
time I ask you a question, you can't answer. You just change the subject.
I'm not. I just want to know. if
True,
these
true
people-
or false? Correct or not?
You won't let me speak. I want to know
Go for
if
it.
the people in this live stream agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, loads of them do. Look, I want to go extinct.
You
Yeah.
said don't want to go extinct.
No, someone did say I do want to go extinct. Albie too. So yeah, say yes in the chat if you support extinction. Oh look, loads of people. That's interesting, isn't it?
Okay.
So when you
now
when you
go
said
in-
nobody would support this, it seems like you were wrong again. Like again.
but not 100%.
Like honestly,
You would
if I
need
was
100% of people to agree, and not everyone agrees. You
At
can
this
see that
point, if
people
I
are
was
saying
you,
no.
I'd be very embarrassed if I was you.
I don't agree.
I'd be very
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Hmm?
I'd be very embarrassed if I was you at this point.
What? Because not everyone agrees. Not
What do you
everyone
mean?
agrees with me. Not everyone agrees with you. That's why.
I don't think anyone agrees. You have nothing to agree with. You've just dodged every question and changed subject every time that I try to talk to you. So there's nothing to agree with, right? You don't actually
Right,
have.
so
anything
someone
to
just said it's not possible to find something everyone agrees with. That's why we couldn't do this, because we need everyone to agree for it
Why?
to work.
Why? Why?
Because you can't just kill people because
not?
they don't.
Why?
Well, tell me why you can.
Well, you just do it. People do it every day.
And you're saying that I'm a bad person for not wanting that to happen, and you would go and just kill everyone.
Well, if you think killing is bad, then extinction makes billions of years of killing impossible. So it actually it's the lesser of two evils in terms of how much killing there is.
So you can't go outside right now and kill an ant to save that ant. Is what you're saying? Killing someone is saving them. Is basically what you're saying. Why wouldn't you go and save an ant right now?
So why do you think governments exist, right? And systems, right? It's so that you can do bigger and better things.
To
essentially.
regulate us.
No, it's so you can do bigger and better things, right? So an overarching system where everyone is working together is more effective than one person aimlessly trying to do something that's never going to work, right? So one person can't achieve total extinction. If you think that's possible, then you're just proving that there's something wrong with the way your brain works.
We couldn't cause total extinction. That's completely impossible because
Yeah, but
there
you've
are
never explained
creatures.
why. You've never explained why.
There are creatures that we don't even know are alive. Think of like.
Yeah, but we have all the time in the world to find them.
Do we though?
Why not?
How long do you think the Earth is going to exist for? We haven't got much longer left as a planet.
You think
anyway.
you think it would take millions of years to find everything?
Do
I don't
you
think
understand
it'll
that
take
there are fish in the Mariana Trench that we don't even know exists?
Yeah,
How
but
would you kill
look,
them?
think about it. We've had the internet for 30 years, right? Give it 1,000 years, our technology is going to be way more advanced, right? You're limiting your thinking to today's technology, right? You're making that mistake.
But what about, stuff on Mars that could be alive that we don't know about? How are you going to make those go extinct?
So yeah, we have to research the most vast and thorough extinction possible, which means pushing science to its limits. And yeah, it might take some time, but we can either do it ourselves, which is still going to be the lesser of two evils, right? If humanity has to suffer for 1 million years in order to prevent billions of planets from suffering for billions of years, then it's the lesser of two evils. But hopefully we'll be able to replace ourselves with robots, and we can have human extinction, and the AI can continue towards the most vast.
That is so point. You think that AI taking over the world is the best thing?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because the whole reason that Earth means something is because it's human-made, not because it was made by code.
So that's all you care about.
Do you really think
meaning,
that AI could exist without us?
So you
As
care
soon as,
more about
like-
meaning than safety and responsibility.
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
So do you care more about meaning than safety and responsibility?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Right. So why?
because I would rather live in a world with meaning than leave it to AI to
But
take over.
is that? Would you say that you're, trying to represent the most responsible position?
Can't hear you
Are
over the roses.
you arguing that you have a more responsible position than extinction?
I'm saying extinction is going to happen either way, one way or another. So why bother trying to just get it done fast when we could just like enjoy life?
Because there are victims that need it now.
And like I said, they have an exit. They haven't got. And you just said that we couldn't do anything now. So why are you worried about them? They can't. They have an exit.
But we can do activism now to make it possible, right? To prevent billions of years of more.
It's not going to help anyone for at least.
But look,
what?
babies. What exit does a baby have?
A baby isn't suffering.
What, babies never suffer?
Well, they do, but so because if 1 out of 10 babies are suffering, why should we kill all 10?
So how many? So 1 out of 10 is okay, but would 2 out of 10 be too many? Or would it
No,
have to be
5
10
out of 10 would be too many. Half.
So if 4 out of 10 are tortured for their entire life, it's okay.
Then it'd be good to help those 4, but the other 6 who aren't involved should just be left alone.
So would you, if you could create new life, right, that doesn't exist, doesn't need to exist, and you can basically push a button that sends like one person to hell, how many people would need to go to heaven, get created and sent to heaven with a button to make it worth it?
Heaven's not a real thing.
It's a hypothetical, mate.
So what are you asking?
So a hypothetical is like
I know what a hypothetical
it's not a real
is.
scenario.
I know what a
It's
hypothetical
used
is.
to
I know what a
explore
hypothetical is.
principles
I know what a hypothetical is.
So yeah, would you send someone to hell if 5 people get to go to heaven?
No, because that's not. There's no half.
So what? 2 people, you would do it, right?
If you've got 10 people, and 5 of those people are suffering, then that is enough to send them all, or to cause extinction.
So if 5 people are in hell, innocent people, then it's okay if 5 people are in heaven.
No, because I'm saying if it's more than half, then you're right, but it's not more than half.
Okay, so if 4 people go to hell and 4 innocent people go to hell and 6 people go to heaven, then it's okay.
No, it's not okay.
Oh, why not?
Because they should all go to the same place.
Which is where?
Well, there isn't a heaven or hell, so
Right, Trinix. So you've forgotten already what a hypothetical is. I'm very disappointed. Anyway, Trinix, thank you for coming on. That was a really good debate. I think not on his part, right? That was probably the worst debate he'll ever participate in his life. But from my end, I think we absolutely just demolished him at every corner, basically every step. So that was pretty good, actually. And you know what? He may have had some issues, but he did make for good conversation. So thank you, Phoenix. Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
At the beginning, I used to think I saw you in TikTok a couple of days ago, and I thought you were joking. But now listening to you, I think you are so serious, and that makes me excited because I think what you're doing is making people focus on the most important thing ever. All politics, all art, all philosophy, all living, all smile, all sadness, all come to this. Is life worth living or not?
No.
Is life good or not?
No.
And
Life shouldn't exist.
I think you make a clear bet. You said life is not worth living. And I would love to debate someone to test myself, because I am standing on the other opposite place of you. I believe that life is worth living.
Oh my God. Really?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No problem. I'm really feeling pity for you.
Right. So Who do you think it's worth living for?
You know, I think it's worth living for my mother, for my brother, for my sisters, for the smile I get, for the cup of coffee, for everything that make me feel alive, for my creative projects.
Okay, so you and your family are happy and healthy. That's good.
No. We have troubles. My mom have she was diagnosed with bad illness that broke her back, and I am myself suffering from schizophrenia. So I have a lot of anxiety, and I have a lot of depression. Sometimes come to me, panic attacks, and so on. Half of my week is bad. I get good days sometimes. Like in a week, I get 2 good days, and most of it, the other is bad.
So what do you think? Do you think that we should have a zero tolerance policy on cruelty and extreme suffering, or do you think that we should allow some so that other people can have fun and pleasure at their expense?
No, I think we should prevent these bad things. We should fight them with everything we got.
So should we make it top priority? So what? Because you see, the thing is, our priority is safety from suffering, right? But for most people, their priority is life existing, is top priority over safety from suffering. Do you see what I mean? So for most people, they would say, no, life has to exist even if there is suffering. We can reduce it, but life has to exist no matter what, essentially.
I think I disagree with that premise. Like, if someone is suffering from something that is really bad, some people already make that choice. I was listening to this guy in the news who wanted to kill himself because he had bad illness, and it was in France.
But in terms of all life, I mean, right? Not just one life, all life, essentially. So most people like yourself prioritize that life itself should continue to exist, even if there is suffering, right?
Right.
So why? What makes life so important? You know, would you, let's say that, you know, your life depended on somebody else being tortured. Would you think that it's worth it? Is your life really worth?
I believe that if someone is in tremendous pain, have the right to choose, because we are free after all.
But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
No, he have the right to choose. If someone is suffering.
So how does a baby choose?
A baby is not in the choosing place yet. I'm talking about adults who can choose.
Right, but we have to think of those who can't choose, right? If you just only think of those who can choose, then guess what? You're going to allow all of the suffering to those who can't. And you're also going to cause suffering to those who can choose by saying that they should be forced to suffer so badly that they have to.
Not forced. Those who can choose have someone
Well, no.
who can choose for them.
When you get born, you're forced to exist, right? So if you're forced to exist and then you have to suffer so badly that you have to unalive yourself, then that's not really fair, is it? And again, babies can't do that.
If we come to those who don't have choice, like pets or children, probably there's someone responsible. I know someone who make his dog go away because his dog was very sick. So there is someone who will make this choice for them.
So you're just going to leave it to chance, basically. You're going to
not chance. The same way the free person can choose, those who cannot choose have someone to choose for them.
Always, every time.
Most of the time.
And so what about when there isn't?
When there isn't, then there is no one to choose for them. So they will face their fate.
Just forget them, hey? Who cares about them?
But no, it's not, because you want to choose for them now too, right? We are in the same position.
Yeah, we're choosing that they don't suffer. You're choosing that they do suffer.
No. I'm choosing for them to live,
and to suffer, to be forced to suffer.
You know, if you reduce life to suffering, then we disagree, and I think that's where the debate should be.
So you don't think it's wrong to force someone into a life of pure hell?
Look, life is not only suffering. That's the premise.
Do you want to answer that question?
No, that question have a premise beside it. I think we should talk about the elephant in the room.
Let's just think about it. Do you think it's okay to force an animal or a human into a life of pure misery, excruciating pain?
No, it's not. But that doesn't mean that life is suffering alone.
Okay, but for them it is, right?
No, it's not.
Never.
Not never. Some animals born with critical illness. Look, it's not white and black.
So we should just allow that. We should allow it.
No, when we have the power, we let them go. I know a lot of people take their horses out because they were suffering.
So you think it's okay for someone to be tortured and then killed?
No, it's not. What you're doing, brother?
So
Why
shouldn't we prevent that instead of allowing it to happen?
Can we have a deeper conversation than trying to make me contradictory
No,
or stuff like
you're
because
trying to you're just trying to dodge. Listen.
this is very important. This is more.
You're yapping now, okay? You're yapping. So essentially, what's happening is I'm holding you to account on your opinions, and you don't like that fact, right? You're finding it very uncomfortable that I'm actually challenging your opinions and asking you to explore them and explain them. You're literally just finding that unpleasant because essentially I'm asking you to defend your positions and you can't, right? Because they are indefensible. So that's why you're finding it so uncomfortable and you're trying to change the subject and dodge every question essentially because I'm asking the right questions and you can't answer them.
Yeah, I lose interest in talking with you because you want to play games. You don't want to really.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're done. You're finished. All right. Look, what a defense mechanism right there, right? Oh, I'm losing interest. No, you got owned basically, right? That's what happened. You got absolutely owned. Okay, let's cook and serve some more people. We've got I mean, look, the 2 debates I've done so far, they've been absolutely owned. Brenz, hello, how you doing?
Hey, yo, would you mind if I record this just so I can use this in a future content?
I can't hear you. You're gonna have to speak up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go for it.
Is my audio quality quite poor? I'm getting some feedback here.
It's very quiet. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, just give me a second.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have anyone else?
Is it better now?
Yeah. Let's hear your question.
Yeah, sure. Are you familiar with the ethicist ideology?
Yeah.
Would you say that aligns with you?
No. Ethilists are in favor of inaction, basically. So, they don't actually want to solve the problem.
Could I provide just a small amount of writing and you could critique it really quickly? It won't take long.
I mean, you could send it over on our Discord, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Is that information available in your bio?
Yeah.
Cool. Then I won't bore you with my question now. I'll simply do it on Discord. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Brenz. And yeah, everyone can join our Discord. The link is on my profile, my bio. And we also have the link to the website with the FAQ, the manifesto. Hello, how you doing?
Hi. So I have a question. At first, I thought this was like a hypothetical. Hypothetical. But I see like that this is an actual movement, and you're also taking donations. So I want to know like, what's your plan if everyone were to, or
if everyone were to join the movement?
Or like let's just say, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your plan with the donations and whatnot?
Well, we're growing the movement until we have enough people to take over the world, start running it ethically, and start doing animal extinction. So we have to do it as a government. You can't do a proper job unless you're the government, right? If you've got a government trying to stop you, you're not going to be able to do it properly. So that's essentially the plan.
All right. So like not like a nuclear bomb that will destroy the world.
No. We're not looking at a single event or anything like that. It's going to be organized bit by bit, structured.
And do you think you're going to get enough people to agree, like to join the movement?
We're going to try, and we're also going to be reproducing, and we're also going to be donating sperm to try and reproduce even more, so that we can get even more activists out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my question. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. I'll give you a follow. As always, check out our manifesto, our FAQ on our website. The link is on my profile. K-Miz, hello. How you doing?
Hello, James. Not bad. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So, I mean, I just heard your process kind of idea about structuring some type of way for people to head towards extinctionism. I wanted to ask you a question though, hypothetical. If we could just end suffering, right, with a button, okay, through your means as well, through extinctionism, But there was only one condition. You would have to brutally grape a 1-year-old. Would you do it?
What if it ends billions of years of suffering? Yeah.
So, so you just want to grape an infant and then kill the whole world. You're such a great person.
Well, no, I never said I want to do that.
Well, you just said your moral view would permit you to do that, right?
Well, if it was like for the greater good, if it was the lesser of two evils, then wouldn't the greater evil be even worse?
What would be the greater evil here?
Billions of years of suffering. That was your hypothetical, right?
Yeah, well, what this actually falls down to is that you're just egotistical. You're driven by your own self-goal for removing suffering to the point where you would actively cause some of the worst suffering that we could recognize, possibly.
But would that
Like,
be,
I mean, when I give you that
wouldn't it be
example of, you know what I
worse?
mean, like you
So-
brutally
so would
grape a
that be
child,
worse?
that's like a terrible thing, right?
Yeah, but would that be worse than what it would be preventing?
Would what be worse? The action of graping the child?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely. There's no way that you could actively measure harm.
So you don't think that would prevent, billions of cases of that exact same thing?
What if you grape someone, it would stop other grape?
Are you going to dodge that question?
No, I'm asking you. If you grape someone, it would stop other grape. Is that what you're saying?
Well, now you're just trolling.
No, I'm asking you. Is that what you're saying? I'm clarifying.
Well, now you're just trolling then. This is your hypothetical.
How am I trolling? I'm just asking you to clarify.
This
What
is
do you
your
mean by that question?
hypothetical. You're just trolling at this point. Okay, well, thank you for coming on and trolling, right? But you know what? Despite the fact that he was trolling, it is actually a good question in a sense, right? Because yes, the right thing to do is to choose the lesser of two evils. So it's a good point to point that out. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
So I want to ask you, do you really think do you really think we will be able to end all the life on Earth if we all agreed?
I don't think everyone's going to agree to that, right? I think we have to. Oh dear, just had a restriction. Yeah, we not everyone's going to agree, so we're going to have to do it for them, basically.
And so suppose we ended all the lives on Earth, okay? Just suppose that we ended. Then there will be no spectator.
Yeah, we don't need a spectator.
Why we don't? Explain to me a little bit.
No, you explain why we do.
What?
Why would we need a spectator? Right? If there's nobody suffering,
Because life
no
is-
life, then there's nothing bad happening. You don't need somebody to spectate that.
So life should end because it's all suffering. It should end. All life on Earth.
Well, yeah. Why not?
Okay, I guess I'm out. I don't really have a question.
All right. Thanks for coming up. All right, everyone. I'm going to take a break because I just got a nasty notification on TikTok. So I'm going to go check it out. I might make some videos, have some lunch, and be back in like an hour or so. So for everyone else, join the conversation. Continue the conversation with us on the Pro Extinction Discord. The link is on my profile. We also have a WhatsApp group. You can join us there. And read the website, proextinction.com. The FAQ, the manifesto, explains everything, right? All of your questions are answered on the website, proextinction.com. Go check it out. If I can find a way to see this notification online, maybe I can stay on the stream. But it's not a good one. Not a good one. Hang on. You could even blah blah blah. Dolphins, yeah, dolphins suffer as well. And what's your job? I don't have one actually. Okay, do we have anyone else in the queue right now? No. Not at the minute. It's a shame. Oh no, so it says my account's been disqualified from monetization. That sucks. But, you know, we were thinking about moving to a different platform anyway. Thing is, TikTok's actually really bad at paying out money. So, for example, YouTube gives pretty consistent amounts of money for every video. It's all the same, whereas TikTok will just like pick and choose essentially, which is kind of wrong if you ask me. Okay, let's see. Do we have anyone in the queue? Yes, we do. We've got MKD. Let's bring them on. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, I just wanted to ask you, how do you know that ending a life will end suffering?
Well, we don't know for sure, right? But it seems most likely.
It's a big step to take, extincting everything when it's not really something that you're sure about, when it could be something worse afterwards.
Yeah, but the thing is right, you know, it's better to just make sure that there is no child abuse, no animal abuse, right? I think that's the more sensible option instead of, because we know that does exist, right? Whereas we don't know that there is any sort of afterlife or hell or anything like that. So I think we should try and prevent the suffering that we do know exists.
Wouldn't it be safer to prevent suffering without ending life rather than ending life and then everyone going somewhere worse?
Well, there is no other way to end suffering without extinction, basically. So, yeah, this is the safest thing to do, the most responsible thing to do.
Well, I mean, we could limit suffering.
Well, why do we need life to exist?
Well, because the alternative could be something worse.
So what, you would just allow infinite suffering forever because the alternative might be worse?
Well, it's something that would need to be.
When you say the alternative, like, do you think that life which hasn't been born yet is suffering and will temporarily be safe from suffering while it's suffering on Earth?
It's certainly possible. We simply don't know.
Is there any evidence for that?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know at all what happens after it. And the way I see, since we don't have any evidence.
So let me ask you a question. If a child abuser wants to have a child and to torture it to death, you would allow that because the alternative might be worse.
No, I would try to prevent that. But what I would say.
Why? But the alternative might be even worse, right?
Well, what I would say is that we have an observable reality, and we'd have to say that the baseline of suffering that we see here is probably, perhaps maybe might be worse, might be better, but in terms of probability, it'll probably be equal if there is other life in other places, because we don't have any evidence to say that it would be better or worse. So then when you have something...
So what about the child abuser and his kid, though, right? So surely, by your logic, we should allow him to have that child and to abuse it, because the alternative could be worse.
Well, no, because we should be striving to improve the living conditions where we are.
Right, and what about animals in nature?
Well, if we find certain species of animals that, suffering intensely or anything like that, I'm sure we could make accommodations for them to be...
Well, all of them suffer intensely, right?
And do they?
Well, yeah, humans suffer intensely, animals suffer terribly. Did you not know that?
Well, but what I would say is that, for example, certainly some creatures suffer more and others suffer less. And then...
So we should discriminate?
No, what I'm saying is that, for example, if we look at nature as a...
So you think that we should say, right, on average they suffer this much, so make them go extinct, but if it's just a tiny bit less but it's still bad, then we should keep them suffering?
Well, I think we should be trying to reduce the amount of suffering. Let's say every generation there should be less and less suffering.
So your spiritual theory, it's that like life is safer existing than not existing, right?
Well, no, it's 50-50.
What do you mean 50-50?
Well, we don't have evidence, so it's 50. Since we have absolutely zero evidence of what comes after, we can only say that there's a 50% probability that it will be better and a 50% probability that it will be worse, since we have absolutely no evidence either way.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you say that we need evidence of an afterlife first to take it seriously, right? There's no evidence that there is one, so why should we operate on the assumption that there could be one?
And there's no evidence that you
Right,
just
but
disappear after you die.
the burden of evidence is on you, though.
Why are you sentient?
Well, no, I'm asking you what reason we have to assume that there could be essentially an eternal hell outside of Earth that everyone would experience,
The fact that we are
including
sentient,
before they're born.
yeah, the fact that we are sentient and the fact that we're not just kind of like robots without sentience acting on our genetic
So
code.
why does us being sentient mean that there's a good chance that there is hell and that we experience it even before we're born?
Well, I'm not saying there's a good chance. I'm just saying there's a
You're
good
saying
chance.
there's a 50% chance.
Well, it might
That's
not
a
be
very
hell.
good
It
chance,
just
right?
it might not be complete hell, but it could be worse than could be marginally worse than hell.
Yeah. So effectively hell, right? So what reason do we have to think that there might be hell before you're born?
Well, because if you think about the fact that we have sentience and the fact that it's something that wouldn't really, if you're just like a computer doesn't have sentience, for example, but you as a person
Okay, but
do.
what reason do we have to think that there is hell before you're born?
Well, the fact that sentience exists implies that it's something that's infinite because it couldn't just be created, for example. So
Well, why can't it just get created when you're born?
how would it be? What would be the mechanism that creates it?
Nature, basically.
And why would nature create sentience rather than just an unsentient creature that's following its genetic code?
Because it was evolutionarily better, basically.
But you could do all of the exact same things that you're doing now without being sentient.
You don't know that for sure. You don't know that for sure.
Why not? You just be following your genetic code.
You're making a claim, right? You need to provide evidence for that.
Well, can you prove that your sentience changes the way that you would act, rather than you not having sentience? Is there any evidence that you having sentience changes the way that you behave?
It's an integral part of our biology.
What's an integral part?
Consciousness, sentience.
Where is that an integral part?
In the brain.
But your brain could have the exact same configuration, and
You don't know that. Again, you're making that claim.
Well,
so what you need to understand is that science operates on not just making baseless claims, but using evidence to start believing or suspecting something, right? So you're essentially just making things up, just using your imagination. So that's not a responsible way to go about things. We have to use evidence, we have to use science and logic and reason as well.
Well, according to science.
But if you're going to make a claim,
okay, I can say
you need to have a basis for it. You can't say, well, you can't disprove it, because then I could say, well, there's a flying spaghetti monster, and you have to pray to him every day. And if you don't, then...
If you want, I can send you some scientific studies showing that behavior is determined by genetics, if that's...
Yeah, we know that. That's common knowledge.
Well, if your behavior is determined by genetics, then having consciousness wouldn't have an impact. It would just be your genetics and your...
Again, you're just making another claim.
How that is the claim, though, because the fact that your genetics...
You're just making claims with
it's
no
a factual
reason.
claim that your behavior is determined by your genetics, so you're essentially just a biological machine, right? So then is there any... Why would consciousness change the way that this biological machine behaves?
I'm not saying it changes the way it behaves, but it might be necessary for it to operate.
And in what way would it be necessary for it to operate?
I guess like sensation.
Well, that's what your nerves are for. That's a part of your biological machine. You know, your nerves will
But
send
it's
a
like the
reaction to your
software, right?
brain.
It's like the software running on the hardware, essentially.
Well, exactly, but a computer has a software and it doesn't have sentience.
But look, the thing is, right? You're never going to be able to prove where sentience came from or anything. You're just making like claims, basically, right? So it's got nothing to do with whether or not we should end all suffering, right? And it doesn't prove God exists or that we go to hell before we're born, right?
Well,
Again,
what
you're
it
just
proves
making
is
claim
that
after claim with no basis, no evidence, right? So
what
you need
it
to start realizing that you shouldn't ever make claims without evidence.
which claim did I make without evidence?
That essentially we could operate perfectly fine without sentience.
Well, I think it seems likely, and I haven't seen any
you
evidence to the
you
contrary.
you think,
Well,
right?
I haven't seen
So
any evidence to the
this is
contrary.
like a religious way of thinking. Well, I think God is real, so He is real, right? It's just not a smart way to go about life, right?
We have machines, and we have even biological machines, perhaps, that operate without sentience. So why would humans or monkeys or other animals that are larger be different?
Well, we operate in a different way, right? We have a very different, biology, essentially, right?
And what part of that biology necessitates consciousness?
Reaction, like the ability to react, essentially. Okay, MKD, thank you for coming up. I really think you should read into the scientific method and why you shouldn't believe things with just no evidence just because you think, right? It's not a good way to go through life, and you end up believing in things that just don't make any sense. James, can I have permission to make art of you? Sure, why not? Anyway, I am going to take a break, and I'll be back in a bit. See you.